What is going on, everyone? Badger here. Should have like and sub, and let's get into this. By the time you watch this video, I won't be with you any longer. No, I'm kidding. By the time you watch this video, Funeral for Star Wars on Film Threat, the 6-hour stream, of which I'm about to go do and read all the super chats. Hopefully that went very well, and everyone got their catharsis out, and their grief over the end of at least Disney Star Wars, because that's most certainly what that funeral is going to be about. And then also, by the time you watch this video, later on today, Thursday, when I release this, it will be open bar, and I've already spoken to Drinker. I will be on that to have a little group therapy session. But until we get to that, let's do the personal therapy session for the last episode of The Acolyte. And it was a doozy. It was a doozy. So let us see what Drinker has to say about this.
You know, chronicling the absolute calamity.
And yes, I do believe that's supposed to be Darth Plagueis, even though Darth Plagueis would be about 10 if you followed the books that they're stealing from, but not fully following.
That is The Acolyte week after week has been one of the most intellectually draining experiences of my entire career. It's like watching someone exhume the corpse of a beloved relative, bend it over a table, and do the kind of things to it that would make Tatiana blush, and then having to describe the whole thing in excruciating detail for the entertainment of others.
You can't keep getting away with it!
Well, this is it. The final episode of this
Human!
So without further ado, let's get the...
By the way, I hated every goddamn moment of this. And if you don't know how it ended, oh boy. Blame it all on the Asian man.
This crap over with. The episode begins with strong female protagonist wearing a gimp mask and breathing really heavy, which is how a lot of good Saturday nights begin for me, because she's just had a vision of her sister murdering Squid Game guy, because she can see into the future now, don't you know? Wow, that's a pretty useful skill right there. Shame it was never used or mentioned before or after this precise moment in the story. It's almost like the writers couldn't think of any other way to reunite the two sisters in time for the finale, so they just decided, what the hell, make and see into the future now or something.
I mean, yeah, at least Luke, when that happened in Empire Strikes Back, he's specifically meditating when the vision comes. She's just sort of sitting there.
So anyway,
well, I guess unless you want to go the route of, and this is maybe even what they were trying to go with, that having the sensor deprivation put her into a meditatory state, and that's when she got the connection. I don't know.
Her and Discount Ezra Miller. In fact, forget that. This actor's officially getting upgraded to premium Ezra Miller because he's way better than that walking flesh lump ever.
He unironically is the Kylo Ren of this show. He's the best thing about the show. I was going to say it was Jai Kim, whatever, Master Saul, but nah, bruh. It's Chimera.
Anyway, the two of them head off to Brendok to intercept strong female antagonist.
And yeah, I called that they were going to go back to Brendok.
And Squid Game guy, because don't you see the dramatic arc that's playing out here? Our story is about to end where it all began.
Again, it's like poetry, so if they rhyme.
That's right, George. You must be so proud of what's become of your creation. Oh yeah, and Darth Plagueis shows up for absolutely no reason, like he's been locked in a cave this whole time.
Oh, but you see, that's what Leslie was talking about when she said that we were focusing on the lesbian communal force witches, that we're missing the forest for the trees. Well, the trees is Plagueis, and the fact that Plagueis has been apparently observing this whole thing. And this, of course, is where he gets the ideas to manipulate midichlorians using the force to create life. Isn't that nice? Just another thing that Leslie has given to someone else.
And only just found the exit right now. Is he an introvert who just wanted to be left alone, or does he get nervous around the ladies? Either way, I think someone better check up on Star Wars theory, because I suspect he's about to go full scanners on us. Anyway, flash over to strong female antagonist who's strapped to a table while Squid Game guy...
By the way, I really hope Star Wars theory is on open bar, because damn do I owe him apology. Like, okay... From pre-2012 Disney, I still ascertain 100%. I say that it was assert rather that it is the Force. That whenever someone says magic, it's the Force. But under Disney Star Wars, no, it's magic too. Leslie straight up said that there's magic and there's the Force and there's even nature powers. Oh.
Does battle with his most formidable opponent yet, the English language.
I noticed the way you take care of him.
and tries to explain what actually happened to the lesbian space witches, but strong female antagonist is more interested in escaping. How exactly is she going to do that, you might ask? Does she have some cunning plan up her sleeve? Some fascinating trick that none of us saw coming? Maybe she's going to use the power of the Force to break free? Nah, she just asks Pip to unlock her cuffs.
And then she acts still, even though she knows she's outed as May. Pip is Osha's droid who has a connection, not May. But then all of a sudden she's like, Pip, and she's acting. So I guess they are just dropping the pretense that it is the same person.
Wow, lucky that Squid Game guy never thought to remove him and that he's somehow able to understand that she needs to unlock her cuffs, considering that he's a very basic droid that's just been reset to his factory settings and has absolutely no idea what's going on.
Oh my God, and I did just notice it. The helmet.
Cuffs, considering that he's a very basic droid that's just been reset to his factory set.
It's a fuck. It's got a rebellion New Republic symbol when that's not the symbol of the High Republic or the Republic in the prequels.
And has absolutely no idea what's going on right now. It's even more lucky that his head also functions as a taser to disable Squid Game guy.
Major vibes of Thor getting tased in Ragnarok also. That's a good freeze frame.
I mean, there's just no limits to what this plot device... droid can do. So strong female antagonist bails out into an escape pod, and there's a pointless chase scene which is
Bro, this is where all the money went.
Included just to eat up some screen time before Basil decides that he's on strong female antagonist side now and disables Squid Game guy's ship. So
I hate this goddamn wombat. I hate him with the fury of 1,000 suns.
So that she can escape.
Son of a
What the actual Christ mother and fuck is going on? Why are you on her side now, you little shithead gerbil-faced arsehole? And why the hell does Squid Game guy leave you aboard the ship when you've clearly proven yourself to be both a traitor and a saboteur? Fuck off, Basil. Oh yeah, and Squid Game guy turns his locator back on purely so that Soy Boy here can report to strong female character number 3. And honestly, I don't know which is more painful at this point. Squid Game guy wrestling with a language that he's clearly not fluent in, or watching this absolute talent vacuum trying to act.
Yeah, she's really not good.
I mean, I've at least got more respect for Squid Game guy because he had to learn English specifically for this role, whereas Charisma Vacuum over here has theoretically been acting for decades. Either way, the Jedi are now on their way to Brendok so that the rest of the
Boy, and that diverse boarding, the patrol party that they send.
plot can happen. Fuck it, don't think about it. Let's just keep going so we can get this over with. So premium...
Oh, okay. She immediately recognizes the stranger on the planet and is like, oh, you're still alive? So she has, by the way, Vanestra Rowe, who's supposed to be 116 during this, played by Leslie Headland, Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant, her wife, not nepotism at all. She has every power that the Jedi should have had the whole goddamn time, like a base level power of like sensing the danger of the bugs nearby, or maybe able to sensing. Now, this is granted a power that not all Jedi have, but of like Quinlan Vos had. I forgot the exact term for it, but when you touch an object or a surroundings, and through the Force, you can sort of see an echo of what happened there. Not all of them can do that, but she can do that, and she can immediately feel the presence of other peoples and creatures, and it's like, wow, that's convenient. Just show up on scene and like see exactly what happened.
Ezra Miller and strong female protagonist arrive at the Mountain Dam Fortress Village Monastery mining facility thing, and strong female protagonist decides that the only way to get in is to restore power to the elevator. How exactly do you expect to do that when the power generator literally blew itself to pieces and the whole facility burned to the ground 16 years ago? Oh, I guess it does work. Must have
It's a power cell. It's a local power cell or some bullshit. That's what I would lie.
like healed up or something. Isn't it amazing how technology in Star Wars can just do whatever the plot needs it to at any moment? Not to worry though, because premium Ezra Miller just kind of teleports inside so that he can have a fight with Squid Game guy because the script says so. But that doesn't really matter because it's time for the matchup we've all been waiting for.
By the way, I really wanted to like that lightsaber fight. God damn, do their lightsabers look horrible. They don't even put CGI over it anymore. It's just their glow lightsabers like that you could buy at any store. And they don't even look as good as like a shout out, a Star Wars theory.
Or forget Luke versus Vader, forget Obi-Wan versus Anakin, forget Rocky versus Drago. This is it, boys and girls. Strong female protagonist versus strong female antagonist. Light versus dark, good versus evil. man to man.
Feelings in hallway.
Jesus Christ, man. I've seen some embarrassing spectacles in my time, most of them made by Disney, but this may go down as one of the single worst fight scenes in all of Star Wars. Watching Amanda Stenberg awkwardly stumble her way through this fight choreography, clumsy and flat-footed and stiff as a fucking board, makes Rosario Dawson look like Muhammad I'm Hard Bruce Lee.
None of these fights have had the gravitas of any original trilogy or prequel trilogy, any of the weight, any of the grittiness, any of the like, oh damn, someone might get hurt. I don't know.
Squid Game guy is literally twice her age and moves with more speed, grace, and
Even this, I can like look at that. I can see the Shadversity video of like them swinging at nothing and waiting for the other person to swing.
coordination than she could ever hope for. Anyway, whatever. So the point here is that Squid Game guy and Premium Ezra Miller are having a far more entertaining fight when the terrible twins show up to ruin the fun. And then strong female protagonist gets angry when Squid Game guy confesses to killing her mum for completely justifiable reasons that
And leaves out the most important part of why this.
for some reason he's not able to justify because the script doesn't want him
Osha, she was turning into a demon.
to. Then she force chokes him to death, and the three of them
And he says, it's okay. It's okay.
escape just
I
as
fucking hated
Charisma
it.
Vacuum and Soy Boy arrive with the rest of
Oh, and he's leaving out where Osha, her blue, she picks up Saul's blue lightsaber, and then she does the dumbest shit that Disney Star Wars, the bleeding of lightsaber crystals. So back in the day, red lightsaber crystals were because the Jedi were guarding the planets where all the natural ones that just happened to grow in like blue, green, purple, yellow. So they couldn't get those planets, Ilum and a couple others. So they had to make synthetic crystals, and synthetic crystals are red, and that's why Sith and Dark Jedi were using red crystals because they're essentially black market. But Disney added something called bleeding, where you can bleed your anger and emotions into the crystal, and that's what turns it red. And of course, that's dumb as fuck because you go, well, why didn't Anakin's lightsaber turn red then in his fight with, oh, well, they had to had a whole comic to explain that was stupid. And this is just as dumb. So she bleeds his lightsaber and it turns red. So now Osha is dark side, fully dark. You gotta be dark side as fuck to bleed a lightsaber color crystal, even in Star Wars Disney canon.
the Jedi. And wouldn't you know it, they end up back at the tree where we first met them 16 years ago.
Poetry.
Yes, like poetry.
Shut up, George. And now strong female protagonist has decided to become strong female antagonist, I guess, because now she's going off the train with Premium Ezra Miller to become a Sith Lord. Fucking Christ, where is this story even going? Oh yeah, and because strong female antagonist decides that the Jedi will eventually use her to find them, Premium Ezra Miller offers to wipe her memory so they can't do it. Wait, what? Here's an even better solution for
I mean, that's a Revan. They pulled a Revan.
you. Why don't the three of you escape together and then you can go your separate ways later?
Yeah,
Why'd you have to wipe her entire memory and potentially turn her into a complete retard? Not that you'd notice much difference, to be fair. So anyway, May gets her memory wiped and Osha escapes with Premium Ezra Miller, and Charisma Vacuum blames the whole thing on Squid Game guy so that
And to be fair, he erases all of her memory up until she was 8 years old. So I think that would essentially make her a child.
she can avoid any repercussions for the Jedi and herself. Wow, a woman.
And then they still had oversight committees voting on that. So it still got repercussions. And yeah, everything got blamed on Saul, said that he killed his own friends and all that to cover up what they did.
And throwing other people under the bus to avoid taking responsibility for her shocking personal failures. Write what you know, eh, Leslie? And that's it. That's the final wet fart of an episode, over and done with, thank God. And now that it's all over, the thing I have to ask is, what the fuck was the point in any of this?
To show that life can indeed be created using the Force. That is what the Force Witches did. Now, they didn't do it perfectly, but they did create life in Osha and May, one person in two body, one spirit in two bodies. Take that for what you will. And so now that's been done when Plagueis and all the other people that Theory points out in his videos tried and failed. I guess they were just missing the Eclipse and the Virgins and that Force magic matriarchal powers. It also made the Jedi corrupt, and way more than like George's Jedi in the prequels, who just had like strayed a little bit from the will of the Force, had become a little mired in politics. This just makes them straight up fucking corrupt and complicit in murders and cover-ups and all that, and way sooner than they should be. And yeah, it takes away from the Plagueis novel. Now, instead of having Plagueis, who was male gendered, now he just stole the idea from these Force Witches. So yeah. The whole point of this, Drinker, was subversion and to usurp. And that is what it did.
What was the show even trying to accomplish? What was it trying to say to us as an audience? I honestly felt like I had no idea who the main character was even supposed to be, who the villains were, what anyone was trying to achieve, or whether I was supposed to empathize with them or despise them, because every single aspect of the writing is so god-awful and ass-backwards that there's no reason to care about any of it. Osha goes from being Smilo Ren's prisoner one minute to leading him directly to May the next, even though he's out to kill May, and I don't even know what the fuck Osha plans to do with her. May runs away.
I don't think they know. I don't think Leslie knows, because in the one constant in the interviews, when she's talking about the things that she wrote, she's like, I think, I feel. It's like, you wrote it. You should know this.
From Squid Game Guy, even though she wanted to kill him in the previous episode and knows that he's going to follow her anyway, so what does she expect to achieve there? And Squid Game Guy ran away from the Jedi in the last episode, but then activates a tracker to lead them straight to him in this one. Why? The finale for any show is supposed to bring together all the various character arcs, plot threads, and mysteries to deliver a satisfying conclusion for all of it. But all we get here is a bunch of morally confused characters we don't particularly know or care about, with motivations that change from one scene to the next, all converging on the same place for unknown reasons. And setting aside all the
By the way, in that fight, they grabbed each other's hands so much.
retarded identity politics that are basically just par for the course now with Disney products, the moral framework of...
And this is what they wanted, I guess, just to have a male. He's Asian, so the DEI, Asian or white adjacent. So to have a white cishet male Jedi, says it's a slur, on his knees giving, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, that's what they wanted.
The show is completely and utterly fucked. Characters that are supposed to be unmasked as villains have done absolutely nothing to deserve it, while others commit the most despicable acts possible and then get completely forgiven in a matter of minutes because moral relativism. Morality does not function like that, you fucking spam sandwiches. You can't go around killing innocent people who are just doing their jobs and expect the audience to empathize with you later. Whatever you care to define storytelling as, The Acolyte is the exact opposite of it. Nobody who had even a hand in writing this should be allowed within a nautical mile of a writer's room for the rest of their natural lives. It's not just...
Oh, they will get a season
laughably
2. Sorry, they'll get a season 2 and they'll get other shows because they fail laterally and yeah.
Bad from an acting, production, and directing point of view, but when you really think about it, it's downright shocking that something like this was even commissioned in the first place. Any studio head with an ounce of common sense would have taken one look at this script and deposited it in the nearest landfill.
And look, to Star Wars, oh, that's a perfect, to Star Wars Theory and to his mods, you know, Rossi and you guys, I know it. You love Filoni, and even if you've seen some of it lately, come on. You can say that this was Pablo and Leslie and Kathleen, and it was, but Darth Felonius, much like Plagueis in that cave, he's always there, his great eye, always watching the Star Wars lore of what to steal from it, and he let all of this happen. But
I guess things work very differently at Lucasfilm. Instead, this is what we got. A $180 million joke that's done nothing except further destroy an already crippled brand. And
by the way, they totally ripped off some parts from SC-38, the Star Wars fan film that added in the more modern fight of Obi-Wan and Vader in A New Hope. They took the thing where they're locked up and pushing your sabers and it's doing the thing along the wall. And then also shout out to Ryan versus Dorkman, that fan film we were reacting to, both parts. The second part, goddamn, their wall lightsaber effects look better than this. $180 million.
Unite the entire internet in absolute mockery and disgust. Just another shit Star Wars project to add to the ever-growing list, destined to be forgotten within days of it being over. And as far as I'm concerned, good riddance. See you in hell, Acolyte. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
Yeah, and again, the real point, and we've said it a bunch, is you used to get made fun of for liking Star Wars and Star Trek and all those other things. And now the people that used to, or the same type of people that used to do the making fun of, they now control it. And you can just feel the contempt. And yeah, yet another thing taken, another action figure set on fire, and then us, called toxic for not enjoying it. Let me know what you think of this. Be sure to like, share, and sub. Make sure to check out Open Bar tonight. And
Well,
Bye.